Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. First things first, we are obviously in a different setup. I'm actually sitting on my couch in my living room, and I don't think I've ever actually used this as like an official background, if you will, but I moved my whole ring light setup and everything. I wanted to get like a different change of scenery, but also I needed to move it anyway to film another video that you will see coming soon. But today we're going to be talking about my February favorites, and this is actually a really nice setup for me to do this video because I have all my products laid out in front of me on my coffee table, whereas in my bedroom on my vanity I have like a small space, so this is nice. But yeah, I have quite a few things to talk about. If you want to see everything that I've been loving this month, don't forget to please, or last month when you're watching this, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I post, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Okay, so I have a good mix as usual of skincare, some makeup. So let's just dive into skincare. This is probably the first thing that I have been loving. Oh my god, do I not have my hold on. Hold please. Damn it, I don't have a remote. Anyway, damn it, I'm filming on my actual like camcorder video camera this time. I'm going to insert close-ups of the products throughout this video so you can see them up close. But this is the Drunk Elephant Umbra Sheer Physical Daily Defense Broad Spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen. Now, this is a physical sunscreen, which is mandatory for me. Whenever I am buying sunscreens, or daily moisturizers that have sunscreen, I need it to be a physical sunscreen. I've explained this quite a few times on my channel, but basically, physical sunscreen entails ingredients like titanium dioxide or zinc oxide, and basically they just serve as like a barrier. So if you're acne prone like me, that's probably a safer bet than like a chemical sunscreen like oxybenzone, avobenzone, all those things that actually like penetrate your skin and like block it from within, I think. So anyway, this is great. It has not irritated my skin that I've noticed, and the consistency is it's not super duper thick. Like my Pharmacy sunscreen, which is like my favorite sunscreen, daily moisturizer, it was my favorite sunscreen. This is a little bit more slippery. Like you can see it's a little bit more thin in consistency, but a little does go a very long way. And you actually get a lot more product, and it's cheaper than the Pharmacy sunscreen because you can actually use this on your body as well. This is 3 fluid ounces as opposed to like the standard 1.7 to 2 ounces. And it was like $34. So definitely, yes, expensive for a sunscreen, but this is something that I do every single day. I do not leave my house without applying SPF. I know some people think that that's crazy, but I just need to protect my skin. I don't want the rays to age it. And so I'm a sunscreen believer, and this has 20% zinc oxide. I truly love it. I think it's great, and it really does work. I apply this every day on my face, on my neck, and on the back of my hands. And yeah, it's just something that I need to do to keep my skin looking young. So yeah. Okay, speaking of like skincare products, the Badescu Special Healing Powder. I actually spoke about this on my channel, I believe like 2 years ago in my underrated products video. I've had this for so long. I have quite a bit of this, and this says it's formulated for oily, troubled skin. It's sulfur-based powder that helps fight T-zone shine, decongest pores, and balance oil in the skin. So I do not use this as a setting powder by any means. I don't recommend that you do. This is really just a treatment powder. So you open it and it has a little puff. I literally, on days like once a week, I set aside one day a week where I do not wear any makeup because that's my day to like go to the gym and clean and get like down and dirty and not worry about like makeup. I just need my skin to like breathe for at least like one full day a week because I do wear makeup to work and all that stuff. So I will always toss this on my face like in the mornings, like after I wash my face, if I'm about to go out for the day, I'll put this on my face, just literally dab the velour powder on my troubled areas. And I do find that not only does it keep my oils at bay throughout the day, I find that it actually does help with my pimples. Whenever I wash my face later that night, I notice that they are significantly smaller, which is always a good thing. And this is definitely one of those products where you're like, oh wow, like I wouldn't have thought to get it, but it's such a good treatment powder that I, again, do not recommend to put over your makeup, but on its own, I think it's great. And if you're looking for something of that kind, definitely pick this up. I have been using this pretty much consistently every single week this month, so I really wanted to mention it again. It's awesome. Okay, I guess my last like skincare item, I mean, it's not skincare. I'm gonna go into other stuff later, but I have to mention this. This is the Hempz Minted Sugar and Spice Nutmeg Herbal Lip Balm. This is the holiday edition. So I've actually had this for quite a few months now at this point, but I use this still every single day, and I keep forgetting to talk about it, but I truly use this morning and night. Morning before I put on my makeup and go on my day, and then night after I get out of the shower and need to moisturize my lips. This is truly such a nice lip balm. Hempz is a great brand. They make, obviously, hemp-infused products. Their lotions are amazing. They come out with the best seasonal scents, and I have to admit, when I first got this, it took me a while to warm up to the smell. I was like, oh, it smells very interesting, like exactly what you would picture minted sugar and spiced nutmeg to smell like, but with like that Hempz twist, so it smells a little bit herbally as well. But I really like the smell, and I really like the consistency because it is a sticky, tacky balm. It reminds me of a less intense version of the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Balm. That one is super duper sticky. This one kind of mimics that a little bit in formula and consistency, but it's definitely not as sticky. It's definitely not as intense, but it still gives your lips great hydration. I love the packaging. I love that you twist it up from the top, and I think it's a great lip balm. The ingredients are really, really nice. You don't really have those things that make your lips feel soft, but then kind of are detrimental in the long run. The ingredients are clean. It's enriched with 100% pure natural hemp seed oil, and I wanted to mention it this month because I finally remembered to put it in my favorites video after quite a few months of forgetting. So this is really good, and if you're not into this scent, definitely check out the other scents because I'm more so speaking to the formula as opposed to the scent. So this is good stuff. I love it. Okay, let's switch gears to makeup for a little bit because I feel like you might be like, do you not have any makeup? Let's start out with the star of the show. I have two palettes to talk about. One of them I've spoken about before, but this one is the ColourPop Thrill of It Glitter Palette. It is what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. Let me explain how this works. So on ColourPop.com, this whole thing costs $20, which I think is an amazing steal. I believe like sometimes it was like, it's like valued at like $60 to $80 because of all the individual shadows, but if you buy the bundle, it's called a Thrill of It bundle, you get it for $20. At least that's what I paid for it. And this packaging is so cute. The glitter, like, the butterflies is so cute. And as I have mentioned before in a video, this actually comes as a separate empty 9-pan palette. 9-pan? No, 12-pan palette. And then the individual glitters, the pressed glitters, come as individually packaged glitters that you put into this palette by yourself. So I have to admit, when I was sticking them in here, not all of them fit super well, so I had to kind of like force them in, but it ended up super nicely, and I love this palette. I know glitters, pressed glitters, are technically not eye safe, and as someone who wears contact lens, I definitely keep that in mind, but I have not been bothered by any of these, and I've worn this quite a few times. I have not tried every single color yet, but I have tried about half of them, and I love them. These are a little bit tricky to use, right? Because they're pressed glitters, so I apply them with a glitter primer. I use the NYX glitter primer, and I find that this actually works best to apply on top of eyeshadow, as weird as that sounds. Like today I went in with an eyeshadow all over my lid, and then I went in with the glitter primer on top of that eyeshadow as a base, and then I went in with this really beautiful like duochrome, like brownie, taupey, bronzy glitter, and I just tapped that right on top. And I think that works best because I have tried it on bare lids as well. The problem is if you go in with this is meant to be more of a topper. So I personally think it looks better layered on top of an already existing base. That way you won't see like those like bald spots in between the glitters, which is an issue that I had that time I applied without anything underneath. I also wore these two colors on my lid when I went out with my friend to the club like a couple weeks ago. I'll insert a photo here. It was so beautiful. Like this, truly, you have everything you need for any look you want. In my past couple videos, my Berry Smoky Eye, I used this glitter right here. They're just so nice, and just the only thing I would say is be wary of the getting in your eyes thing, but other than that, this is a great value. It's a great deal. It may not be as easy to use as like liquid glitters, but I think personally that it's so much fun to just like use your fingertips and tap it on and just blend it out. I don't know. There's something fun about it, and I love it, and I recommend it. Another palette that I wanted to talk about again because I've been using it a lot this month. I think the last time I spoke about this was my January 2019 favorite, so it's been over a year. And granted, yes, I had put this down for quite a bit, but I love it so much, and this has become my daily palette again. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette. This is great. The packaging is really easy to travel with, and as someone who does like a one and done eyeshadow look, I had filmed a tutorial about a year ago using this palette where I showed you my everyday makeup routine, and most of that's pretty much the same. And in that video, I showed you how I just take a swipe of one of these shades because they are all shimmer shades, and I just put it all over my lid, and it's beautiful. It's like one and done, so easy. It's even easier than going in with just like a little bit of bronzer on a brush on my crease and buffing that out, because literally all I do is just take my finger, put it into one of these, and swipe it all over my lid. So if you're on the go and you don't really have much time, but you want to do a little bit of something to your eyes and a little bit of eyeshadow, this is definitely the palette for you, because you get all these beautiful like shades. And actually today, I did not go in with any of the shimmers, but it actually does come with one crease shade. I applied this all over my crease as like my initial transition before I went in with any other matte shadows, before I went into the glitter. This is great. I recommend it. Okay, speaking of palettes, I have like two face-ish palettes to talk about. Now, I just spoke about this guy in my face palettes video. If you watched that video, that was the last video that I had posted. Go check it out. I'll link it above and below. But I spoke about this palette in that video, and I have been using this more than ever this month. This is the Too Faced Sugar Peach Wet and Dry Face and Eye Palette, and it looks like Zeus. It looks like these, and it's a really nice palette. I've spoken about it in that video about how essentially it just is the most luxe palette, and you have such beautiful shades. I swatch it all in that video, so go watch that video, but it smells like peaches, and this peach line is one of my favorite lines in cosmetic history. You have such beautiful, unique shades right here. Sugar Peach is a really pretty glittery blush. Peach Pop is a really nice cool pink gold duochrome, and then Peach Pearl and Peach Honey are just really beautiful highlight shades. I have not really used this that much wet. I mostly only use it dry because it is so intense. You do not need to use it wet, in my opinion. It just is so nice. The experience is beautiful. The formulas are beautiful. They blend so well, and they're infused with sweet fig milk and peach. It's just a beautiful palette. It's not absolutely essential, but I said in that video, and I'll say it again, that these colors and these formulas are unique and stand out to me from a lot of other things that we've seen in the industry, especially when it comes to face palettes. So I think it's worth it in that regard if you want something a little bit luxurious, a little kind of like accessory to your palette collection. I think this is awesome, so check it out. One that I got like honestly like last week, and I'm cheating, but I love this. I fell in love with this. I have been wanting like just a contour palette, because if you watched my video, I spoke about the BH Cosmetics Nude Rose Sculpt and Glow palette. Those two cool tone shades in that palette are pretty much the only like contour shades I have in my entire makeup collection. I really don't contour my face that much. I usually just bronze my face and I'm good to go. So I was like, okay, I'll venture out and contour, but I don't want something too big. I don't need a whole shade and light palette. I just need something small that I can travel with, that I can use on a day-to-day basis if I want, and this is it. And I was actually looking at another palette to buy on Ulta, but then when I went in store, they didn't actually have it, so I reached for this instead. This is the Essence Contouring Palette. They have two varieties from what I saw. They have one for lighter skin and they have one for deeper skin. I bought the one for lighter skin. It says it's a duo palette for perfectly shaped and defined features. Apply on nose sides, along the chin and below cheekbones. Light powder for softer, dark for expressive contours. Okay, this is not technically proper English, but you know what they mean. This is so nice. The packaging is small, and yes, it's plastic, but it feels very sturdy. And I have been using this contour almost every day. Like, it's so easy. I just dip like a duo fiber brush in there, go a little bit on my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, and it blends out so beautifully. There is kick up in the pan when you put your brush into it because they are pigmented. They are very creamy. But they are so nice and blendable. I have to be honest, I haven't really used this shade yet. I'm mostly only speaking to this contour. There's no scent, and it's $6. So I don't think you can really beat the price. I think the formulas are really great. It's not ashy, it's not chalky. They're definitely more creamy than the contour palettes in my BH Cosmetics palette, so I think it's awesome in that regard, and I really recommend it if you're looking for something. Maybe you're a beginner and you want to look into contouring, you're not really sure where to start, but you don't want to drop like a whole lot of money. This is awesome. Okay, let's talk about a couple other makeup items that I have for you. The Milani Most Wanted Lashes is a newer mascara. It's not a new mascara. It's been out for I think almost like a year now, which I guess maybe really isn't new, but I've had this for a couple months now. I bought this when I was in LA because I needed a mascara, and I was at Face Values and I was like, oh, I'll try this one. And I had heard so much hype about the Milani mascaras. Like, it's definitely more of a natural formula. It doesn't give you super intense volume like this guy does right here. So for today's look, I started out doing my lashes with the Most Wanted lashes, and then because I was like, oh, I'm doing a little bit more dramatic today, I went in with this Essence Lashes of the Day mascara on top because this is like the most dramatic mascara in my collection. This and my Better Than Sex. It's amazing. But if you're someone who doesn't want that super intense look every single day, which I totally understand, this is awesome. It gives you good definition. You can definitely build it up. It gives you great volume and length. I definitely think it gives you both, which is awesome because some mascaras just give one over the other, but I think it gives both. I overall think it's a great everyday nice mascara that you can definitely kind of cater to your needs. If you want something that's more dramatic, you can build it up. If you want something that's a little bit less dramatic, a little bit more on the natural side, you can definitely achieve that with this guy too. Just don't build up too many coats. Okay, so last like makeup-y product that I have is the ColourPop BFF Lippy Pencil. This is actually in the shade BFF 2. This is the lip liner I'm wearing right now underneath my lipstick, and even though it's not the same color, this is really, really awesome. And I don't wear lip liner every day. I'm really not one to overdraw my lips, at least on a daily basis. I honestly only wear lip liner if I'm going out like on the town, or if I'm like filming a video and I need my like lipstick to look nice. Other than that, I really don't bother, but this is really nice because it's very creamy, it's very easy to blend, and the only thing I will complain about this is that the cap doesn't stay on, so when it's in my drawer it kind of like flops around. But yeah, I've used ColourPop lip liners before in the past, like years and years ago. I think the formula has gotten better. They're still creamy, but they don't slide around too much. They stay intact. And BFF2 is really nice in terms of a nice deep nude. They have BFF1, BFF2, and then BFF3, I believe. And BFF2 is kind of like the mid-tier one, as the name would suggest. So if you're someone like me with like a light medium skin tone and you don't want a nude that will like wash you out, this is really awesome, and I recommend it if you want like a good affordable lip liner. Okay, I have a few other products, more obviously makeup and beauty related, but I want to give a shout out to these lashes. This is the Gala lashes by Kiss. These are the faux mink lashes, and I'll insert a photo of me wearing them because I'm not wearing them right now, but I wore them when I went out with my friend. And I bought these kind of like on a whim. I went to Walgreens. I was like, okay, I need a pair of lashes for tonight. Love buying good affordable lashes, and Kiss faux mink lashes are probably my favorite brand at the drugstore. They make the best faux mink lashes. They're Couture lashes. I own so many of them. They're so beautiful and they're so comfortable. They really, truly look very, very, not natural, obviously they're not natural, but they don't look super duper harsh against your natural lashes. They are very flattering, they're very comfortable, and you can wear them and reuse them so many different times. And this is probably my new favorite pair of like dramatic lashes, if you will. Like, they were so comfortable when I wore them. I had to give them a shout out. If you're looking for like a nice dramatic pair of lashes that you don't want to spend like $18 million on, Gala is great. And as someone with hooded eyes, I think they look so nice on my eyes personally. I didn't think they looked too overpowering. They were just the right amount of drama. So I had to give a shout out to these. These are like my new favorite special occasion lash. Okay, I have just 4 more random products. I want to give a shout out to the Revlon Essential Cuticle Oil. And I know this isn't cruelty free, so I want to briefly mention it. But my hands get so dry in Nevada. I live in the desert, and imagine the desert combined with winter. It's bad. I get dry, and my skin does feel dry sometimes, even though I have very oily skin, and especially my hands. Every single morning and every single night I'm like, but this is so nice. All you do is you just paint it on like this on your cuticles, and this actually does help because it was mostly skin around my thumbs, like particularly this left thumb, like on this side. Whoo, it was peeling. It was like actually embarrassing. Like I would walk out and I'd be like, no one's really looking at my hands, but I would feel self-conscious. And obviously a little goes such a long way. Like it looks like it's brand new. Like I haven't even touched this, and I've had this for a couple months now, but I've mostly started using it this past month because my hands have been drier than ever. And it's a great cuticle oil, and I'm sure there are cruelty-free alternatives. So if you know of any, please leave them down below, because obviously if I run out of this, when I run out of this, I would like to repurchase something that is cruelty-free. Definitely leave me your thoughts down below. I also use the Burt's Bees Cuticle Balm. I don't think that's as effective as this, honestly, because I've had that for longer than I've had this, and I would use that nightly and I wouldn't really see as much of a result as this, where literally after 3 nights consecutively of using this, honestly, my cuticles looked almost 100% better, like after. It was insane. So I have to give a shout out to this guy. If you're not cruelty-free conscious, get it. I think it's amazing. The Velour Puff. I bought this randomly in a set of 3 on Amazon, but you can just search up Velour Puff. And this is something that you'll see a lot of makeup artists use, like when they're doing someone's makeup and they don't want to touch their face, they'll keep their Velour Puff like between their fingers so that when they do it, it's not like disrupting their makeup. And this is so old school, right? Because I know my mom, she never really used to use brushes. So when I was a little girl playing with her makeup, she used Velour Puffs, and she still does, like with her powder. But ever since I feel like they've kind of come back as a trend in the industry, I was like, okay, I need to, you know, buy some. And I will say it's definitely not as convenient as having a brush because it obviously takes a little bit longer. Yesterday, because it's at the top of my mind, I used my Peach Perfect setting powder, my loose setting powder with this, and I just tapped this all over my face and it looked so good. It stayed looking matte the whole day. And normally I have to touch up, I look oily through the day. And granted, yes, after 10 hours, like I could see my oils peek in, but it was like a night and day difference. Like I did not look shiny. It was insane. And I had to attribute that to this powder because I had had the same outcome the other times that I had used my powder and applied it with this. So this is really nice if you want to really just push the powder into your skin. Obviously, it's great for touching up as well, but this is really good because unlike a powder brush with bristles that kind of like loosely distribute the product, this literally just presses it into your skin, hence it makes you look and stay matte longer. So I have to give this a shout out because it's so affordable and it's so like OG, but you know, sometimes we have to return to our roots, if you will, in the makeup industry because sometimes things did exist for a good reason, and whoo, this is really awesome. 2 more products that are like bronzy and glowy, and I have actually developed so many like tips and tricks to being bronzy whenever I go out and I tan and stuff. So I'm gonna do a whole video, I think, come spring about like how to be bronzy and glowy, which may sound cliche, but I'm obsessed with it now. I just love the look of like warm tan skin, like all year round, like shiny, all that stuff. So I'm gonna do a whole video, stay tuned. But I have to give a shout out to this guy. This is the Naked Skin Body Beauty Balm. It's tightening, hydrating, and optical blurring. I don't even know if this is still available. I got this honestly at Nordstrom Rack like a couple years ago. It's probably like technically expired, but I still use it because I only use it on special occasions. It's one of those like smoothing products, and honestly, like I had put this down for a while ever since I got my Soul Body Shimmering Oil. But that really just imparts like a shimmery glow on your skin. This doesn't really give you shimmer. It just makes your skin look so smooth. And I don't know what it is, but I applied this like with my tanning mitt all over my body, and oh shit, it's gonna like spill. It's so beautiful. It's kind of runny, the product, so you gotta be careful. It's liquidy, and it does come out with a tint. But when you apply it to your skin, especially with a mitt, because that just gives you the most coverage, it just smooths out your skin and makes it look like Facetune. I don't know, it's insane. Like, I love it so much. It really just does a great job at like blurring your skin, exactly as the name would suggest. And it's not something that's super travel friendly, obviously, but it's really nice. If you see this anywhere, I don't know if, I think it's discontinued, but if you happen to see it anywhere, I think it's awesome and worth the money. Last but not least, I have to give a shout out to this guy. This has definitely become another staple in like my all over glow routine that I've been using a lot this month. This is the iconic London Prep Set and Glow Water Mist, I believe. And it is so pretty. Like, look at it like moving around. I don't know. I think it's so cool. Obviously, when it's just sitting there, it separates, like the shimmer separates from the actual like formula, so you really got to shake it up, and then it looks so pretty, like a little like tornado in there. And then this looks so good all over the body. It really just is a shimmer spray, so I don't use this on my face because it will leave shimmery spots. I just do this all over my body, and it just sets everything down. Like, it just looks so beautiful, and you look so glowy. And I love the smell of this. Like, the smells really freaking amazing. So I love this. It's a great like shimmery glittery spray. I'm sure there are cheaper alternatives out there. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and at first I was like, what am I going to do with this? And then the second I realized it would be beautiful all over my body, I was like, okay, I'm sold. This is amazing and a staple for me now. Okay, everybody, and that is it for today's favorites video. I hope you enjoyed my roundup of all of my February favorites. Don't forget to leave me your February favorites, February favorites in the comments below. I absolutely would love to hear them as always. Thank you so much as always, by the way, for commenting. I know that people constantly comment who regularly visit, so thank you so much. I love you. I just love engaging with you, so yeah. But that's about it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, please, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!